in a fight that took place Saturday, September 6th, where we had two aging fighters who have seen better days. Boxing shows us sometimes when fighters hang on too long, this could be the case of what you see in the twilight of their careers. But still, I like to put respect on the fighters' names because they do get in that ring and they perform like professionals. Such was the case when Jose Zepeda took on Ivan Redkach. It wasn't pretty, and it was another one of those performances that when you look at it and you say, wow, somebody has stayed around in the pastures too long. Let's talk about what happened in this fight with these two guys. Boxing can be a tough way to make a living. I can think of a number of ways to go about it myself without thinking about getting punched in the face. But that's not the case for these two men who faced off on Saturday, September 6, 2024. Former contending fighters like Jose Zepeda and Ivan Redkach won't be remembered for what they do, but they do have fights that could be remembered for how they've performed. And that's why I'm talking about them in this. And according to an article from Boxing Scene, the link will be in the description box, by Jason Lagendorf. The article goes, with two fighters well into their 30s and each seemingly slumping toward the sunsets of their careers, meeting in Friday's main event in Temecula, California, Jose Zepeda, Ivan Redkach had the potential to be a retirement fight for whichever participant came up short. And let's hope so, the article continues. In the end, which perhaps came earlier than most expected, Zepeda was the fresher fighter, breaking down Redkach in no time flat, sending him to the canvas on 3 occasions and wrapping up a knockout victory inside 2 rounds at the Pechanga Resort and Casino. I'll stop right there for a moment. You know, some of these guys, they do what they do because it's all they know. And you have to really have some respect for that. I make harsh comments on some fighters at times, but at least I do know from where my sentiments come. Some of those boxing scribes, they are very difficult in assessing what they witness in there. The article continues. For the 35-year-old Zepeda, who's now 38-5 with 29 KOs. He states that he felt stronger at 147. I think I have full energy, and I showed it today. But that was also against an older, fading fighter. When you look at Redkach, whose record dropped after this fight to 24-8 with 1 draw, 19 KOs. Between the two men, Redkach is 38 years of age. The Ukrainian fighter is a southpaw. He's 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. And out of his last 6 fights, he's been stopped twice and lost a unanimous decision to Danny Garcia back in January of 2020 in a fight which he bit Garcia. Zepeda, who has lost 3 of his last 6, 2 by KO and 1 unanimous decision to Richardson Hitchens in September of 2023. So as you can see, both men have been in the twilight, so to speak, for what their careers have brought them. At one time, both have been exciting fighters to put on the type of shows that boxing fans like to witness. But it gets harder as they get older, and they're more vulnerable, and they can't get out of the way of one another. That's tough. And putting on weight to fight at a higher division, there's more risk because fighters can be stronger. But seeing that these two are pretty much from the same parrot, they are smaller men who have moved up to 147 for this match. We can only hope that the train will stop for both. Because if Redkach thinks that he can compete for a title at 147, he's sadly mistaken. There are younger, fresher, stronger fighters who would be in a hurry to do damage to him in that division. If he wants to hang around and be a fringe, contending, gatekeeping type fighter, as he was for Richardson Hitchens, then I'm sure that's a way to make money, but he has to be honest with himself. And we have to be honest with him as well. Because fighters like he, they don't get the big paydays. It's just unfortunate that it has to look like this, because just as he stopped Redkach, Dalton Smith stopped him back in March of this year. So let's not be dismayed. Let's not be disenchanted, I should say, about this. But there have always been times when aging fighters can get on a card as an undercard event and put on quite a show. In fact, that happened a lot during the late 80s and early 90s. And I'm very familiar with that. But please, no mismatches. These two men are southpaw fighters, so if it's the end for Redkach, and it very well should be, that experience that he has, he can assist with people who are trying to prepare for that tricky side of the unorthodox southpaw position. And for Zepeda, I know it's tough because you have that hot blood running, coursing through your veins. But there comes a time when you have to pack it in. As far as being world class, you've had your opportunities. But I don't want to see you guys get hurt, and I salute you for your performances. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you thought of this fight if you watched it, and what you think should be next for either man. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.